Chidarin. Bea, why are you saying that? You're scaring me. I'm happy to see you, but I don't know how to take this. Alright. Yeah, we were left in the middle of this conversation. Okay. Hey, Patchface Beats. Oh my god, the emote. Hell yes. Hell yes, that emote.
あなたもよく頭を冷やされて、現実的な金策をお考えになってください。
Poor Natsuhi.
私も頭を冷やしてきます。
待ってくれ、Natsuhi.
Maybe falling over had knocked the sense back into him. Hey, Super Paper, how's it going? Klaus tried to tell Natsuhi to stop, but she just kept walking. Closing the door forcefully, Natsuhi dashed away. Natsuhi ran through the corridor. Ooh. She didn't want anyone to see her like this, but she ran headlong into Genji. Yeah, you're gonna be part of the club. Who knows everything. They should look into that moon tourism thing again. Oh no, bunch. Okay. Hey, there's a...
大変失礼いたしました。
Ah, that's what you mean, because of the gacha game. Ah, please hang in there. We still need you around for a long time.
奥様、お怪我はございませんか。
Izaku.
私は大丈夫です。放っておきなさい。
かしこまりました。
あ、源氏、お父様の書斎はどうなっていますか。
そのままにしております。南條先生は客間におられますが。
そうですか。書斎の鍵は持っていますか。
はい、ございます。
お貸しなさい。しばらく私とお父様の二人きりにするように。もし主人に私のことを聞かれても知らないというのですよ。
かしこまりました。
After grabbing the key to the study that Genji was holding out to her, Natsuhi rushed up the stairs. She then flew into the study, and finally she cried out loud.
お父様、愚かな私たちをどうかお許しください。私と主人はお父様の築き上げてきたものを受け継ぐことができます。罪深く愚かな私たちをどうかお許しください。そしてもしお許しいただけるならば、どうか愚かな私たちを。
Clinging to Kinzo as he slept in the bed, Natsuhi cried even harder. She kept imagining Kinzo sitting up suddenly and patting her head. No, father isn't the type of person to pamper. More likely he'd yell at me to stop being so noisy. However, neither of these imaginations would come true, because it was an undeniable fact that Kinzo had entered an eternal sleep. But even so, Natsuhi begged the sleeping Kinzo to forgive and help him. It had only been a few hours since his passing. Perhaps his soul was still here listening to her. Believing this, Natsuhi begged for Kinzo's forgiveness and help even more earnestly.
やかましいぞ。私は沈黙を尊ぶといつも言っている。
That voice made Natsuhi jump up in surprise. When she faced in the direction that the voice had come from, she saw Kinzo sitting at a study desk folding up his reading glasses.
またクラウスと喧嘩をしたのか。嫁をいたわらぬとはクラウスめ、私の悪いところばかりを受け継ぎよる。
お父様。
なんというみそぼらしい顔か。顔を洗え。仮にも後宮家次期当主の妻ではないか。そんな情けない面を使用人に見せてはならぬぞ。
Such a fatherly Kinzo. Oh my god.
はい、お父様。失礼しました。
Hey, Umineko, how are you? Natsuhi understood. This was just an illusion, one that Natsuhi had created from her desire to speak with Kinzo, and her memories of the man as he once was. No, that's not it. She believed that just for now, Kinzo's soul had shown itself to her. My heart. Ay. She was sure that doubting this would cause it to vanish in an instant.
当主の座が継承されたと同時に早速厄介事が起きたようだな。
はい、お父様。夫を支えることができませんでした。本当に申し訳ありません。
Hey, yeah. I mean, I don't know. You guys know better than me. It was suspected that there must have been a reason why Natsuhi revered Kinzo so much. There was definitely a very deep bond there.
つくづく後宮家は呪われている。
These are the answer arcs where nothing ever goes wrong. Yeah, okay.
私が当主を継承した時もそれはひどいものだった。お前たちの苦難などまだまだ可愛いものだ。
Kinzo's succession to the family headship came suddenly. At the time, he was nothing more than a young man from one of the branch families, far separated from the Ushiromiya main family. The main family might have had honor and tradition, but that was of no relevance at all to Kinzo, and he couldn't have cared less. Then, the principal members of the main family were wiped out in the Great Kanto earthquake, along with their businesses. On top of that, there was a complicated antagonism between the members of the family at the time, and the elders were all trying to impose their will on the others in that sinking ship. Because of this, they weren't even able to elect a leader to rebuild the Ushiromiya family. They found common ground by selecting Kinzo, a youth with absolutely no ties to any of the opposing elders, to be the head. So the elders hadn't really entrusted Kinzo with the rebuilding of the Ushiromiya family. Kinzo had been nothing more than their puppet, with his arms and legs being pulled in opposite directions.
はい、お父様の苦難の日々はよく存じております。
そして戦争が始まった。当時の私はもう生きていくことに疲れ果てていた。戦場で死ねればと願ったが、前線には送られなかった。しかし、日に日に戦況が悪化し、本土決戦の時が近づいてきていた。私は不謹慎にも、その日が早くやってくることを願っていた。
It was said that as Kinzo listened to Death's approaching footsteps day in and day out, he started cutting his ties with this world one by one. And then on that day, when he had freed himself from all his attachments to life, and reached a state of enlightenment, he had a mystical experience. And he met her. The Golden Witch Beatrice.
私は魔女と契約を交わし、黄金と狂気の力を与えられた。 その日を境に古き私は死に、狂気の魔力を得た新しき私が誕生したのだ。
存じております。そして戦後、お父様は天才的辣腕にて後宮家を復興させるのです。
The now deceased elders, who knew Kinzo at the time, had whispered to each other that Kinzo must have taken a knock to the head on the battlefield and returned with a different personality. That was how much Kinzo stood out after the war. Whether the story about Kinzo meeting a witch was true or not, there could be no doubt that the extraordinary experience of war had prepared him for death and let him reach a state of enlightenment. Natsuhi must surely have felt that if Kinzo had decided to describe that resulting mystical experience as a meeting with a witch, there wasn't something she could flatly dispute.
そうですね。お父様は戦争からお帰りになり、魔女ベアトリーチェを従え、真の意味での後宮家当主となられたのです。
How do you conquer a witch? I don't know if I want to know the answer to that.
そうだ。ベアトリーチェに出会う以前の私は、当主と呼ばれるだけの人形に過ぎ。私は黄金の魔女を従えて初めて当主たり。
Not the quick bumps. Well, I mean, it's clear that if it was war-related, he had some sort of experience, possibly near death, that completely switched his views on life, because it's only something this dramatic that can turn a person around, and to this extent, I guess. I can't tell exactly what it was, though. Kinzo conquering the witch known as death. Or maybe the fear of death. Ah. I see. Still doesn't explain the gold. Okay, you conquer your fear of death, but that doesn't magically make a mountain of gold appear. Yeah.
お父様、その黄金の魔女は新しき当主である夫クラウスには力を貸してくださらないのでしょうか。
貸すであろうな。真に当主を継承したならば。
真に継承するとはどういう意味ですか。
真の意味で後宮家の当主としての責任と誇りを持てるかどうかということだ。夏日、お前ならば分かっているはず。当主とは血で継承されるものではない。
Natsuhi didn't know about the gold part being real at the time. Yeah, I understand. This is all kind of filtered through Natsuhi's perception, right? So some things are blurry. I wasn't necessarily implying that there should be an answer here or that everything that's being said in this conversation has to be written in stone or anything. It's just commenting. Maybe Kinzo had a really good deal with the Tooth Fairy. Oh my god, that's a lot of teeth! That's a lot of teeth!
魂と信念によって継承されるのだ。クラウスが我が長男であっても、それがなくては真の当主とは呼べない。そしてそれが心に宿されていたなら、その人間はたとえクラウスでなくとも立派な新しき当主である。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェはその真の当主に力を貸すであろう。
Smadera family is actually Tooth Mafia. Ay ay ay.
そうであるな、ベアトリーチェ。
Oh man. When Kinzo called the witch's name, gold butterflies seethed out of every corner of the room. Oh, thank you so much for the sub, Dizo. That's so nice. Thank you, thank you. Ginzo Betterji invented mood tourism cover. Yeah, they were ahead of their time. Yeah. This fantastical scene had an otherworldly beauty to it. It was like standing in the midst of a blizzard of golden flower petals being blown about a rose garden of gold. As Natsuhi stared at the scene in shock, the gold butterflies gathered and formed a human shape. Ah, Natsuhi. Are you really that high on grief and confusion and pain? Or what did you smoke, girl? Oh my god. Then the witch of the portrait appeared. He gave away someone else's teeth. That's gotta be a lot of someone else's. The headache pills are hitting hard. God.
わらわこそが後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェである。わらわは奔放にして自由。誰の命令も聞かぬ。
Without sadness, magic cannot be seen, I guess.
それを世界でたった一人私だけが支配した。だからこそ後ろ宮家の当主たり得るのだ。
その傲慢さこそが後ろ宮家当主の資格だというか。
傲慢とはすなわち自信であり勇気である。そしてそれに見合う力を得ようとする飽なき向上心の表れである。だからこそ私はお前を支配し。
傲慢を語る男がそれを実現していく様を見るのは心地よいものだ。不言実行は強運なる者の言い訳に過ぎぬ。真の王者は持たぬ者さえも語る。そしてその傲慢を確かに実現してみせるのだ。わらわを支配できる者にはその王者の傲慢が必要だ。
わかるか、夏日よ。真の王者はあらゆる苦難を必ず乗り越えられると公言する。その算段がなくともだ。だから弱者は希望を持つ。集い、あがめ、協力を誓う。そこに力が生まれ、有言は実行されるのだ。それを心に刻め。
はい、お父様。
Natsuhi understood. Through this mystical experience, Ginzo was teaching her the attitude required to overcome hardship, even after his own death. Feeling a warm sensation rise up in her chest, she let the valuable words Ginzo had given her echo through her mind over and over. A true monarch, in other words, the true head of the Ushiromiya family, was not to fear hardship. They had to believe that they could overcome any hardship. If they could not believe themselves capable, then there was no reason why they would be. True. Natsuhi suddenly felt very ashamed of the way she had come into this room, sobbing and asking Ginzo what to do.
私は愚かでした。後ろ宮家の一大事に泣き言を言う暇などあるわけもありません。そしてお父様から後ろ宮家を引き継いだ以上、私たちは何があってもその名誉を守り抜きます。
Protect it, maybe give it CPR or something. It's already dying if it's not gone for good.
ほう。どうやってクラウスの借金を返済するか、その青写真も描けぬのにか。
As Beatrice laughed unpleasantly. No, that wasn't it. She was testing Natsuhi to see whether she possessed the mental readiness to be a true monarch. Natsuhi didn't hesitate anymore. She answered clearly, gazing into Beatrice's eyes. Hey, no worries. We're not that late. We've barely been streaming for 20 minutes.
今はどうすればいいのか、その方法をまだ見つけることはできません。しかし、私の夫は新しき後ろ宮家の当主であり、私はそれを支える妻です。ですから、夫に代わり、私が宣言します。聞こう。 後宮クラウスと夏日は必ずやこの苦難を乗り越え、後宮家の名誉を守ってみせます。お父様にご心配をおかけすることはありません。
クラウスの借金の規模と惨憺たる状況については知っておるな。
はい。この屋敷さえも明日には立ち退けと命じられても拒めぬという最悪の状況です。遺産分配となれば親族たちに刑事告発さえされるかもしれません。しかし心配には及びません。そうなる前に借金を全て返済し名誉を取り戻します。
Before then? How? As she stood at attention with resolute attitude, Natsuhi proclaimed this clearly with Shiromiya Kinzo and Beatrice witnesses. For a while, they remained silent as though weighing Natsuhi's resolve. Then Kinzo chuckled and turned away.
惜しい。なぜにこやつが我が息子ではなかったのか。
I know this is all in Natsuhi's imagination, but I think this part is real. That Kinzo appreciated her in this way. It's so nice.
その資質を持つ女を息子がめとったことさえ、これもまたそなたの強運よ。
ベアトリーチ、私の最後の命令だ。
当主でないそなたの命令をもはや聞く義理はないぞ。
ほう。ならば新しき後宮家当主の命令に従い。
そなたはすでに当主でなく、クラウスは未だ当主ではない。わらわは誰に仕えよというのか。
お前にそれを委ねる。後宮家の当主を受け継ぐ資格があるかどうか、そして片翼のわしの紋章を背負うにふさわしいかとお前が確かめるのだ。
断るぞ。当主でなき男の命令など聞けぬわ。
いや違うぞ。これは遺言である。当主が残したお前への最後の命令である。
ならば従わぬわけにはいかぬか。わらわもつくづく付き合いがよい。
違うな。
ほう。
興味を持ったからであろうが。
つくづくそなたには隠し事ができんな。
夏日。
はい、お父様。
乗り越えてみよ。この。
はい。
To Natsuhi, that might have been nothing more than a simple response, but to Kinzo and Beatrice it seemed to carry much greater significance. Beatrice nodded deeply, and with a motion as elegant as her dress, she bowed deeply before Natsuhi.
後宮家顧問錬金術師、黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。ここに後宮家の苦難を再び乗り越えるため、そなたの力となろうぞ。ありがとう。あなたの力が必要です。私たちは必ずこの苦難を乗り越えます。そのために助力は惜しまぬが、先に断らねばならぬ。
Yeah, she's a lot more palatable, isn't she?
かつて金蔵の窮地を救ったように、そなたに再び莫大な黄金を与えれば、この度の苦難は解決することは分かっている。しかしそれはできぬのだ。そうですか。
すまんな、夏日。ベアトリーチェの黄金は私一代限りという契約なのだ。
It cannot be inherited, yet there's this whole puzzle set in motion for people to find it and prove their worth to become the head. Okay.
そしてそれを受け継ぐためには、
Ah,
魔女
okay.
の碑文を解かねばな
That
ら
is
ぬ
the exception.
のが
Got it.
取
Okay.
り決め。
I should just read.
黄金は碑文にて封じられている。だから
I see.
それを解けぬ限り、 そなたに黄金の魔法は与えられぬ。わかりました。ならば他の方法でこの窮地を脱する方法を模索しましょう。
Yeah, I should just read instead of stopping after every sentence to ponder.
主人は時間をかけるとは言っていますが、必ず借金は返済できると言っています。そのための時間を得ることができれば、この苦難は乗り越えられます。
Oh man. This is giving me a headache though, because you're in this situation precisely due to him having plans that didn't work out. Right? So it's just a string of plans that try to make up for the previous plan's failure and so on. Why do you think this one's gonna work?
よいぞ夏日、続けよ。
しかし金蔵はもう死んでいるぞ。医者と使用人は葬儀の準備。そなたは親族たちにその連絡だ。そなたは自らその金策の猶予時間を終わらせる宣言をすることになる。
Give up? Wait, what do you mean? I was not going in that direction at all. I was just saying that Krause's plan is probably not trustworthy. That's it.
自ら刃を下ろす断頭台も愉快なものよ。
Natsuhi gasped and looked up at the ceiling. There wasn't actually anything there, but even so, Natsuhi had found something.
降りたか、魔力が。
夏日、決まったか。わらわに望む奇跡の魔法が。
All of those who had witnessed Kinzo's corpse were once again gathered in the study. Klaus was still very unsettled and clutching at his head. Genji was as expressionless as ever. Nanjo and Kumasawa bore bewildered expressions on their faces. But in stark contrast to all of them, Natsuhi's expression was resolute.
あなたにもう一度お尋ねします。金策は間違いないのですね。
1年、いや、せめて半年あれば必ず実る計画なんだ。しかし今すぐにはどうしても無理なのだ。
ならばそれを待ちましょう。
しかしお前も言ったぞ、親父はもう死んでしまった。
I'm not fooled, it's okay. I understand that both that Beatrice and that Kinzo were concoctions of Natsuhi's mind. And they are more or less in line with the personality of the characters that we come to see, but that doesn't mean they're the same. At the same time, I have no idea who Kinzo has literally been so far. He's been a concoction of many people's minds, probably. But yeah, it's alright. I didn't really draw any conclusions one way or another about the Beatrice there. I simply said that she was just more palatable to experience because she's not constantly breaking into cackles and all of her witchy stuff that she does.
お父様はお亡くなりになどなっていませんよ。まだこうしてご健在であられます。
When Natsuki said this, everyone looked up instantly, startled, because they immediately understood what those words meant. However, Krause alone didn't get it right away and had to ask.
それはどういう意味だね。親父はもう現にそこに。
繰り返します。お父様は未だにご健在であられます。ご自身の研究がお忙しいので、これまで以上に書斎を出ることはできません。ですから私たちはお父様が研究に専念できるように、お父様に不要なお仕事が及ばないようにしなくてはなりません。つまりそれはこれまでと何ら変わらないということ。理解できていますね、源氏。
Well, The servants being Genji and Kumasawa so far.
はい。片翼のわしの家具は、これからも親方様にお仕えいたします。
熊沢、そして南條先生、私の話は理解できましたね。
それでいいのかね、夏井さん。
お父様は確かに今日お亡くなりになったかもしれません。しかし今この場にいる私たち全員が信じることで、お父様を蘇らせる魔法を使うことができます。
無理ですよ、奥様。そんな、いくらなんでも。
解剖すれば死亡時期を特定される。不審がられることは避けられん。
お父様はお亡くなりにならないのですから、
yeah.
解剖などされる言われはありませんよ。
Of course, she wasn't planning to make Kinzo live forever. The fake life given to Kinzo would only last until Kraus could repay his debts. After that, Kinzo's soul would finally be able to sleep in peace. Nanjo repeated himself that the time of death would be discovered during the autopsy, but Natsuhi said again that this wouldn't be a problem.
お父様は死亡届によってお亡くなりになるのではありません。
そうか。失踪届か。
I have the weirdest feelings in my stomach right now. After clapping his hands together, Kraus stood up, shaking his fists.
そうです。借金が無事に返済でき、お父様にお休みいただける準備が整ったなら、その時にお父様の失踪を宣言します。
Rokinjima's vast, uncultivated forest was the perfect place to stage a disappearance. One day, Kinzo would go out to the forest for a walk and never return. They would search for him without success and then be forced to report his disappearance.
失踪なら死体がなくても死亡届を出せる。つまり死亡時期を隠せるということだ。
You don't have to sound this excited about it.
どうだ、南條先生。
Lord.
これなら何の問題もない。確かにそういうことにはなりますが。
それで良いのですか、奥様。確かに私たちが黙っていれば、親方様がお亡くなりになられたのは秘密にできるかもしれません。
Couple goals, hide the body with your husband. Oh man, I feel so bad for Natsuhi, to be honest. I don't really feel much for Kraus. Because he is incompetent. It's his incompetency that brought him in this situation to begin with. But as much as I feel for Natsuhi, I'm just so queasy right now. This conversation is making my head spin. Just the idea of it. And it's so paradoxically contrarian to Natsuhi's love and appreciation for Kinzo, isn't it? Because what are you gonna do with his body? Like, if you don't ever intend for it to be found. I don't want to think. It runs in the family, ask Badler. Nah, Badler is not incompetent.
ですが、どこでどう間違って誰かに知られないとも。
熊沢、声が大きいです。
Crispy kids.
お父様はあちらでお休み中なのですよ。起こしてしまわれるつもりですか？
I will personally puppeteer father's dead body around in front of the windows to fool the guests. I do this out of respect. It isn't a corpse. Kinzo is sleeping. As Natsuhi said that, Kinzo lay quietly on the bed as though there was nothing at all odd about her words. Everyone is incompetent! gosh.
さあさあ思い出してごらんなさい。そなたがどんな姿をしていたのか、そなたがどんな日々を謳歌していたのか。
Once again, a storm of gold butterflies started to swirl, covering Kinzo's cold body. Then after the butterflies exploded into fine gold powder and disappeared, just like those fairy tales that have been told over and over since long ago, Kinzo slowly opened his eyes and sat up.
お父様。
Ah, Natsuhi. Natsuhi needs some pat-pats. Gentle ones. Do not interfere with her headache.
夏日、先に我が名誉のために断っておくぞ。私は生への執着からそなたにこれをそそのかしたのではない。
嘘つきめ。多少は予見していたであろうが。どうだ金蔵。
Yeah, I guess. I guess so, this one.
体の方は。
悪くはないが、どこか夢の中のような感じだ。重みがないな。
この世にとどまることを許されぬ存在が未だとどまっているのだ。多少の不自由は諦めよ。お体は本当に大丈夫なのですか？本当に大丈夫なのですか？
むしろ心地よいくらいだ。これが死後の世界の感覚ならば、幽霊気取りも捨てたものではないぞ。
これにてどうか、夏日。金蔵はよみがえった。故に葬儀は不要。そなたの苦難はこれにて解決だ。ベアトリーチェ。
As Natsuhi tried to find words of gratitude, Beatrice waggled her index finger and spoke.
感謝の言葉はいらぬぞ。支配者は傲慢であればよい。わらわは頼みは聞かぬが、命令には従うのでな。それでも言います。ありがとう。これで主人のために時間が稼げます。あとは私たちの仕事です。しかし夏日、確かに金蔵はよみがえったが、それは永遠ではない。我が魔力が続く限りである。半魔法の毒素により魔法は破られてしまうかもしれぬことを心せよ。魔法の断りを正しく理解し、その維持に努めよ。わらわはそなたに奇跡を見せるが、それをつかみとどめるのは無論です。あなたにもらったこの奇跡を私たちは決しておろそかにしません。それでよい。なるほどな。主と畳は新しい方がいいというのは本当らしい。気に入った。わらわはそなたに仕えようぞ。後宮夏日。我こそは後宮家顧問錬金術師黄金の魔女。いつでも我が名を呼ぶがいい。さすれば現れ、わらわはそなたに奇跡を授けるであろう。ありがとう。私は後宮夏日、あなたを刺激し、後宮家の名誉を守ります。
We're going for something cute and wholesome. Please, after that. I need that. Oh, you're being sarcastic. Okay, then no. The rose garden was truly splendid this year. The roses were blooming like crazy, as though they were competing with each other. In that rose garden, Kinzo, Kanon, and Natsuhi could be seen.
今年も良い花をつけたな。
Aww. This is so weird. Kinzo and Daylight and Rose Garden. It's such a weird mix.
お前の手入れの賜物か。
ありがとうございます。今年は気候が良かったもので。
She deserves so much better.
普段にも増して庭園が美しく保たれていますね。見事です。
ありがとうございます。
今日という日でさえなかったなら、バラをめでながら紅茶を楽しむこともできただろうに。
Kinzo shrugged. The day was the family conference. When it came to the other siblings' businesses, they hadn't heard anything good. On the contrary, those siblings probably planned to turn the conversation to the topic of Kinzo's remaining life and hold a quiet feud over the inheritance.
不愉快な奴らだ。時にクラウスの方はどうなのか。レイの借金返済の計画は無事に進んでいるのか。
確かに現実性のある計画のようです。
Does this sound familiar?
ただ計画の規模がだいぶ大きいようで、なかなか思い通りに結実しないようです。
Sure, blame it on the scale of the plan.
可能ならば今日の親族会議を迎える前に何とかしたかったもの。
But what's interesting is that Kinzo apparently knew. He knew.
はい、申し訳ございません。良いのか、金蔵。
Or maybe this is not real as well. Okay, I don't know.
そんなところをのんびり散歩しておって。
I don't know, okay. How had she gotten up there? Well, it's pretty pointless to wonder about that sort of thing when you're dealing with a witch. Beatrice was casually sitting on the roof of the arbor, almost as though she had been basking in the sun.
半魔法の毒素の塊である親族どもが押しかけてくるのだぞ。鉢合わせになったらそなたの魂など一瞬で蒸発してしまうぞ。
Ah, wait. Ah, I see.
すでに死んだ身だ。
I guess I kind of forgot the dates. So he was dead already even before the previous. Even before the previous one. Oh my god.
蒸発もまた小気味が良いというもの。
そういうわけには参りません。どうかお城宮家のためにもうしばらくお力をお貸しください。夏日、親族どもの乗った船がこちらへ向かったようだぞ。そろそろ散歩は終わりにした方がよかろうな。そうですか。ありがとう。お父様は書斎へお戻りください。
やれやれ、この絶好の日和なのにな。残念だ。
愚痴るな、金蔵。今のそなたはわらわに生かされているだけの幽霊であろうが、そなたに毒素で消し飛ばれては
I'm still
わらわ
processing.
も夏日も困るのでな。
I'm processing how I feel about that.
おとなしく書斎へ閉じこもり、布団でもかぶっておれ。
死してなおバラをめでる機会を与えられただけでも幸運とするほかないな。わかった。書斎へ戻ろう。だが紅茶はもらいたい。カノン、源氏に紅茶を届けるように伝えよう。今日はマルコ・ポーロでももらおう。
かしこまりました。
では解散しよう。夏日、 私抜きで見事親族会議をこなしてみせよ。
もちろんですお父様。彼らの前で名乗ることはできませんが、主人はすでに後宮家当主。私もその妻として恥ずかしくないよう微力を尽くします。
朝から胃痛を起こしているクラウスに比べ、夏日はなんと落ち着いたことか。我が息子が情けない。
主人にも主人の才能があります。その及ばぬところを支えてこそ私は妻なのです。
うん。
Hey, Viburium. How are you?
しっかりやれ。私は茶番の邪魔にならぬようおとなしく閉じこもっているとしよう。
カノン、お父様を書斎までお連れしなさい。
I can understand that Beatrice and Kinzo are figments of Natsuhi's imagination, but how does canon fit into this?
それから源氏に紅茶の手配を。
肩を借りるほど猛録しておらぬわ。
Canon walking with hair. Genji making tea for nobody. Yeah. With Kraus, yeah, no. Canon is there to be a support duck? Oh no. Yeah, the music is chill, but oh, yeah. Refusing Canon's attempt to lend him a hand. Kinzo rose from the flower bed he had been sitting on. He was sitting on the flowers? What? The retired head left everything in Natsuhi's hands and returned to the study at a gentle pace. Oh, maybe it's the kind that's kind of like surrounded by stone and stuff, so you can sit on the stone or whatever.
様になっているぞ。金蔵の亡き妻にも似た貫禄があるな。
万一お父様が半魔法の毒素にやられたら、魔法は瞬時に解けてしまうのですか？
うん。瞬く間だ。わらわは姿を消せばよいが、すでに亡者の金蔵は姿を失えばたちまちのうちに太陽の風に吹き飛ばされ、塵と消える。
Yeah, it just... I mean, I guess they couldn't have hidden it from Canon and Shannon indefinitely. Especially since it's been actually this long since it happened. But it was just that my initial reaction was more along the lines of, why are we broadening the circle of people who know? Yeah.
用心せよ。
ええ、分かっています。
そなたには魔女の才能があるかもしれぬな。半魔法の毒素をためにためて年を重ねたが。
I'm not ready for Natsuhi Beatrice. No, no, please, please don't.
それでもなお、そなたは魔法を理解した。わらわとの出会いが幼少の頃であったなら、そなたは今頃偉大なる魔女だったかもしれぬ。
私は後宮クラウスの妻で当主夫人です。
Yeah, I guess so.
名誉を守るためならば魔女にも鬼にもなりましょう。あなたの魔法の力には深く感謝します。
You mean Natsuhi? Was meant to be Beatrice design and everything, things were changed. Oh! Oh, interesting. Still, can we not go the which way? Ushirumi and Natasha. She's gonna give everyone teddy bears.
後宮家の名誉はあなたの力なくして守れませんでした。
その話は機会を改めよう。その際はぜひ女同士二人きりでのんびり紅茶を楽しみたいものだな。
スリランカに行った友人がバラの香りの素敵な紅茶を送ってくれました。
ほう、リンブラか。悪くない。ならば茶受けはパティスが良いぞ。この度の親族会議が無事にごまかし通せたなら、わらわへの褒美としてそれを是非に振る舞え。約束であるぞ。
わかりました。約束しましょう。では後ほど。
後ほどな。
The witch made her body crumble into the rustling winds, became gold flower petals, and scattered into thin air. Natsuki watched her go, then turned on her heels and headed for the mansion. After that, there was no one left in the rose garden.
さてと、
Okay.
ここでブレイクタイムね。ここまでの展開だけど、なんか文句ある？
何もないわよ。おしっこしたいならさっさと行ってくれば。
ひどい言い草ね。金蔵はもう死んでるのよ。それがこうして歩き回って言葉を交わしてるじゃない。それって魔法ってことにしちゃってもいいのかしら。まあベルにはこんな手今さら通用しないわよね。しかしあなたはどうかしら、バトラー。これっておかしいでしょ。金蔵を蘇らせた魔法の存在を認めざるを得ないんじゃない？
もしそれがベアトの真似のつもりならば不愉快だから即刻やめろ。
やっぱわかる？それでほらほら、バトルはどう答えてみせるわけ？こうして金蔵がカッポしていることを。いつものゲームみたいに頭を抱えて、こんなのわけわかんねえよってな。そして全然ダメだぜってお約束の口癖で、お得意のとんでもでぜひ反論を聞かせてよ。死んだはずの人間が歩き回れるわけないものね。集団妄想を見せる未知のウイルス、六軒島症候群の仕業とか、六軒島だけに住む謎の蝶の鱗粉に幻覚作用がとか、謎の秘密組織山犬が作った集団妄想を見せる未知の薬物、プルプルピコピオの仕業とか、素敵なとんでもいっぱい聞かせてよ。
うるさい、黙れ。こんなのは問題にもならない。
Grandfather is dead at this point in time. There's no way he exists.
それを存在するかのように振る舞っているのは、なんとかじい様の死を隠して親族会議をごまかしきろうとする夏日おばさんの嘘だからだ。
Oh my god. You guys are sure fast to type that. Did you actually type it? Did you copy paste it off Google?
夏日の嘘をつくと死者が蘇るの？それって夏日の魔法じゃないの？
この世界はブラウン管を除く前の世界、開く前の猫箱の世界だ。夏日おばさんがじい様と一緒に散歩したと語り、誰にもそれが嘘であることを確認できない限り、夏日おばさんがじい様とバラ庭園を散歩したことは夏日おばさんの事実として提示できる。だからじい様が現れることができる。
That extremely unflattering applause was coming from Birdcastle.
ブラボー。あなたベアトがいないと冷静なのね。
うるさい。
You do not want to be on the opposite side, on the receiving end of Battler's Urusai. It's easy to remember when you remember how it sounds rather than how it's spelled. Okay, I'll believe you. I'll take your word
お
for
前
it.
も黙れ。
よバトラ。あんたの高校説によるなら、夏日しかいない場所には金蔵が現れることは確かに夏日しかいない世界で、夏日が金蔵を観測したと主張したなら誰にも否定はできないものね。でもあの場にはカノンが居合わせて、彼も金蔵を見てるのよ。それをどう説明する気なのよ。
全く問題ないな。カノン君は後ろ宮家に雇われてる使用人だ。夏日おばさんにじい様の死を隠すために口裏を合わせるように命令されてるはずさ。だから夏日おばさんと同じように存在しないはずのじい様を見ることができる。
あいにくね、ラムダ。もうバトラはその程度の子供騙しには引っかからないのよ。
そうみたいね。ま、こんなのゲーム前の前座よ。料理の前のアペリティフ。
飲み屋のお通し、寿司屋の緑茶。
うるせえ。青字で言い直さなきゃ先に進めねえのか。
そうね。一応もらえる？
じい様がすでに死んでいるにもかかわらず、何事もなかったかのように闊歩しているのは、じい様が生きていると思わせたい連中が生み出している幻想だからだ。同じ思惑を持つ人間たちはその幻想を共有できる。そしてあたかもじい様が存在し、ついさっきまで一緒だったかのように語る。だからさも当然のように闊歩しているんだ。よって夏日おばさんに組みしていない人間の前にじい様の幻想が現れることはできない。だからこそ書斎に閉じこもって出てこないという設定が必要になるんだ。
In the games before now, grandfather was always shut away in his study. We never met him directly. However, there were some people who spoke in a way that made it seem like he was locked up in his study in a bad mood, and who claimed to have met him only a short while ago. We blindly accepted that and believed that grandfather was in the study. That's why it was possible for an illusion of grandfather to exist in the study. That's right. In the games before now, the only people who met grandfather were Uncle Kraus, Aunt Natsuhi, and the servants. Are we including Dr. Nanjo in the servants category? Because they all stuck to the same story, an illusion of grandfather was able to exist on this island, making it seem like he was alive.
ご丁寧にも、お前のゲームの冒頭でじい様の死を隠すために夏日おばさんが南條先生たちを言いくるめるシーンまで見せてくれたじゃねえか。
He's generally counted as one of the servants. That's a bit odd because he's technically not, but okay.
今さらこんな子供騙しには引っかからねえぜ。
やるじゃない。未知の薬物プルプルピコプヨとか期待してたのに。
そんな妄言口にするわけもないでしょ。だってその存在を仮定することはファンタジーに屈したのと全く同じだもの。ウイルスだろうと薬物だろうと病気だろうと未知の要素である限りノックス第4条に違反する。
第4条って何の話だ。
ノックス第4条、未知の薬物および難解な化学装置の使用を禁ず。
Ah, right, okay. Who remembers them by number? No, I have not played Higurashi. I had no idea what it's about.
殺人にこれを用いてはならないという規則よ。
なんだそりゃ。未知の薬物 X、 未知の化学装置 X は魔女と戦う上での一番の武器だろうが。
Oh, Battler.
それ全部正式なミステリーでは違反だから。
Bear sent me some mystery rules. Now, I don't remember the names of all of the people who made the list of rules, but I did read them half a year ago before I started the novel. So yeah, this rings very familiar. I am. Thank you, Bear, for answering in my stead. You have a lot more confidence in me than I do. The nerf battler, is it over? No. That's a good way to put it, like a nerfed battler. The thing is, just because they violate the rules of proper mystery stories, like, you can only invoke them on the assumption that this is a proper mystery story. What if it's not? It was a huge deal back during the golden age of detective fiction. Yeah, I understood as much.
未知のウイルス、未知の薬物、未知の病気、未知の X を仮定なんて立派なファンタジーなわけ。
This is actually fighting. Ay, ay, ay.
ご愁傷様。それがあなたの推理だったなら、あなたゲームオーバーよ。
How can one know anything about this? I don't know, Bancho.
何を言ってやがんだ。
あなたはベアトと真正面から戦ってきたつもりでいる。でもね、本当は違うのよ。真正面じゃない。ずれた角度で戦い合ってたの。あなたがしてた推理ごっこはファンタジー対ミステリーじゃない。ファンタジー対アンチファンタジーでしかないのよ。
何を言ってやがるのかさっぱりわからねえぜ。
No, eso.
だが一つだけわかることがある。俺のこれまでの戦い方にケチをつけたいらしいってことだ。
私たちは魔女幻想というファンタジーを殺すために戦ってるのよ。それはつまりこの物語を正式なミステリーで解釈するということ。
Yeah, that thing, it puzzled me. Like, why am I supposed to know about that? And we've been reading the novel for half a year, and I'm like, in what way is that supposed to be related? Okay.
つまりミステリーの禁忌に触れるすべての要素は初めから無視して書かれということよ。
無視だと？
例えばこれまでのゲームで何度も密室殺人があったでしょ。
あ
あなたはベアトとその度に犯行現場で隠し扉が存在しないかどうか随分と熱心に確認していたわね。まるでそれ自体が戦いであるかのように赤き真実を織り交ぜてガキンガキンと派手に。あれ、私に言わせると、だってノックス第3条で明記されてるんだもの。秘密の通路の存在を禁ず。ミステリーではね、秘密の通路はあっちゃいけないの。つまり正式なミステリーとして解釈しようとする場、隠し扉があるのかどうかなんて論争初めからしたら負けなのよ。だってないんだから。存在するかもしれないと疑う時点でもうゲームオーバー。
I see.
犯行現場に隠し扉が存在しないことが証明されてないから推理できないなんて。
So Burn just wants to up the difficulty level here.
甘ったれたあなたはミステリー失格。その時点でゲームオーバー。ミステリーで解釈する戦いをしてるつもりだったんでしょ。
ならミステリーのお約束にちゃんと従わなきゃ。そういうことよ。
I love how she goes back to her expressionless, flat kind type of talking as if she hadn't just had this outburst. We all saw it burn.
現場には隠し扉が存在してはならないの。だからその存在を確かめる行為はすべて時間の無駄ってわけ。
Excuse me, Hinge laughing.
お前が言ってるのはあれだろ？どこかで聞いたな。推理小説の条件10か条みたいなやつだったか。
ええ、そうよ。希代の魔女狩り大司教ノックスが振りかざす魔女をうがつ10本のくさびよ。
What?
それこそが魔女幻想というファンタジーと真正面から戦い打ち破るための正しい武器。さすがベルンね。厄介な武器を持ち込むこと。ファンタジーの大敵だわ。
へえ、犯行現場を調べもせずに隠し扉の存在を初めから否定できるなんて、俺にはそれこそファンタジーだぜ。
魔女側を受け持つラムダはファンタジー、それと戦う私はミステリー。あなたはただファンタジーを否定してかわし続けるのがやっとのアンチファンタジー。何から何まで反対だけど対案は一つも出せない。あなたどっかの国の政治家みたいね。
Battler and Trap X ships are officially sunk. Anti-fantasy and anti-mystery. Rikishi loves talking about those. Anti-mystery is an entire genre of novels in Japan. Ah, okay. I did not know.
うるせえぞ。お前たちとわけのわからねえ話をするためにここに戻ってきたんじゃねえ。さっさと話を続けろ。
静かになさいよ。あんたの後ろの眠り姫が辛そうよ。
When he turned around, he saw Beato's living corpse resting in a chair. However, sweat glistened all over her body, and it felt like she was breathing a little harder than normal. She looked as though she was suffering from a high fever.
ベアート、どうしたんだ？大丈夫か？
大丈夫かって、あんたおかしなこと言うのね。その子を殺すためにあんたは戦ってるんでしょうが。あんたに合わせて第5のゲームを改装しているけれど、ゲームは今ベルンがかなり追い込んでいて魔女幻想を打ち破ろうとしているの。その存在が否定されかかってるんだもの。苦しむのは当然だわ。
あなただって今金蔵が存在するわけがないと魔女幻想を打ち破ったわ。あなたの攻撃がベアトに通った証拠よ。彼女のその苦悶は。
I tried to at least wipe away the sweat on Beato's forehead with the handkerchief. It's true I promised Beato that I'd let her die, but that was supposed to be peacefully. I wasn't planning to make her suffer first. My goal isn't to make the sleeping Beato suffer like this before killing her. As if the complicated feelings inside me were plain as day to them, the two witches grinned together.
"姉貴が遺産遺産って騒ぐから親父に聞かれちまったんじゃねえかよ。
私のせいじゃないわよ。どうしようもないでしょ。たまたま廊下にいて聞かれてたなんて事故でしょ、事故。
予算か2人とも。 今回は運が悪かったと思って諦めるんや。男の機嫌なんてほっとけばコロッと治るもんやで。
気分を害したお父さんがおかしな衣装を残さないでくれるといいわね。
The relatives sighed deeply and fell into silence.
こら、マリアもはしゃがないの。エンジェちゃんが転んだらどうするの。
お待たせしました。船の準備が整いました。
ほな行くで。今はぐちぐち言っても始まらんで。
またのご来島を心よりお待ち申し上げております。
Natsuki was sitting on a bench in the rose garden, looking completely worn out. However, when she noticed that Kanon and Kumasawa were coming back, she immediately sat up straight, regaining the dignity of the head's wife.
船は出ましたか？
はい。たった今、出港なされました。
そうでしたか。見送りご苦労でした。主人はどうしてますか？
先ほど、お部屋にお戻りになりました。お休みになられるとのことです。
Since the previous day, Kraus had been almost overwhelmed by anxiety over the thought that Kinzo's death might be discovered. When the family conference ended, his weariness must have suddenly gotten a hold of him. I have a lot of thoughts about that. However, the way he had refused to let even a sliver of his true intentions slip out, and the manner in which he had managed to act as though everything was normal, showed that Kraus's nerve was nothing to sneeze at.
どうでしたか？彼らはお父様のことを不審がってはおりませんでしたか？
いいえ、親方様に遺産分配の話を立ち聞きされたと。エヴァ様などはそれは大騒ぎでしたとも。あの慌てっぷり、傑作でしたね。
はい。大層取り乱しておいででした。
しかし、熊沢もなかなかの演技力ですね。あの廊下での慌てっぷりは、本当にそこにお父様がいらっしゃったかのようでしたよ。
熊沢さんは、そういうのが大変お上手ですから。
Yeah, Bancho. About that.
あら、やだやだ、褒めすぎですよ。
熊沢の病欠の電話は簡単に信じないよう、よく現地に行っておかなくてはなりませんね。
それは手厳しゅうございますよ。
本当にご苦労でした。お前たちと源氏とシャノンには約束通り過去1ヶ月分の休暇の買い上げと新たに5日の有給を与えます。秘密の手当ですよ。取得に際しては源氏と相談し、他の使用人たちに気取られないように。
ええ、心得ておりますとも。ねえ。
熊沢さん、声が大きいです。
おう、いけないいけない。
そうですね。この話はこれまでとします。各自通常のお勤めに戻るように。そうそう、ゴーダに特別にお茶の用意をさせました。いただくように。
Natsuhi let them know that she wanted to be left alone for a while, so that she could drink some black tea in the rose garden. That black tea, carried all the way to the bench, was Sri Lankan tea. I don't know how to read that, I'll skip it. The tea that she had promised Beato along with patis? Pati? Whatever. And sitting on either side of it, the wife of the head and her witch could be seen, both of them staring at it curiously.
これがパ ティスですか。
パティス。
私はてっきり焼き菓子のようなものだとばかり。
Natsuki hadn't thought for a moment that it would have a curry-like spicy flavor, and had started coughing after putting it in her mouth. Alright, no, it's the first time that I ever hear about this. I wasn't familiar with it. To describe it in Japanese terms, it was like a age-fried gyoza stuffed with mashed curry-flavored potatoes. That sounds amazing! Yes, please! As a savory snack, it would probably be pretty popular with the kids. However, it was something of a shock to Natsuki, who expected that treat to go with tea. That a treat to go with tea would be something sweet.
知らんのか？ディンブラといえばこれだぞ。
ディンブラ、okay.
紅茶ならクッキー。ああ、チョコでもよいな。日本茶なら羊羹だが、塩昆布でもよい。中国茶なら小籠包。わらわは月餅も好きだ。
驚きました。随分と文化に詳しいのですね。
まあ、伊達に1000年は生きておらぬ。世界の名茶は一通り試した。お茶の世界旅行といったところか。
確かに、それは立派な世界旅行ですね。このような紅茶の楽しみ方もあると、今日初めて知りましたので、これは貴重な体験です。
わらわは六軒島より出られぬ身。これくらいしか旅をすることはできぬでな。そなたはどうか富豪の妻らしく世界を優雅に旅してきたのであろうが。
ジェシカが生まれる前は主人はいろいろな国に私を連れて行ってくれました。嫁ぐまでは一度も海外旅行をしたことがなかったので、どれも新鮮な体験でしたよ。
そなたも窮屈な家に生まれたらしいな。
厳格でしたが素晴らしい教育を施してくれましたよ。それを窮屈と呼んではお父様とお母様に失礼です。
雄弁に窮屈であると語っておるわ。
Kraus might have pitied Natsuhi, or he might have wanted to take her away from the restrictive Ushiromiya family for a little bit and let her rest. Or he might simply have wanted to take his wife around countries he knew well and show off everything he knew.
主人はお父様と違ってアジアの国が好きで、香港、台湾、韓国にタイ、マレーシアも行きましたっけ？
クラウスめ、金蔵の西洋かぶれに反抗したつもりか。しかしアジアも良いぞ。日本人は丸ごと西洋かぶれだからな。外国といえば西洋しか想像せん。西があれば東もあろうに。
私も西洋の知識はそこそこにありましたが、東洋の知識はあまりなかったもので、旅先でいろいろと主人にからかわれましたっけ。
As Natsuhi grumbled that they had all been very tiring trips, Beto secretly peeked into her heart.
いいか？これは瓶籠という。ここでは庶民的な嗜好品だ。
It looked like a small, round, gourd-like nut that had been split open, with a slice of cucumber wedged in it. At a glance, it looked as though it would probably taste like pickles.
なるほど。これをかじればよいのですか？
As she tried to bite the one her husband was holding, he suddenly moved it away. Sure. We all do. It would be weird if we didn't. That's how our human bodies are made. Yeah, I see. It's coming into play finally. After 6 months, I get the answer. What were the nuts for? I guess this. It felt kind of embarrassing, like she was a fish who took the bait.
まあ、待て。 貧乏には食べ方がある。確かにかじるのは正しい。かじる、もぐもぐと噛む。しかし食べてはならない。
かじって噛むのに食べてはならないのですか？
うん、かじって噛む。
The message was blocked by Automod. Sex-based terms. There it is. Be careful what you write, guys.
食べてはならん。そして汁も飲んではならん。胃を痛めるからな。
わかりません。どうしてそんなものを食べなければならないのです？
ガムのようなものと思え。噛んで味を楽しむ。噛んだくずと汁はこうして紙コップに吐き出す。
あなた、お口の中が真っ赤ですよ。拭いて拭いて。
Did she learn that from Kumasawa? The handkerchief she had wiped Klaus's mouth with, a favorite of hers, also had bright red marks on it now. Something that's poisonous if eaten or drunk, and it makes the inside of your mouth so bright red. And on top of that, having to spit something out after you put it in your mouth, how indecent. Thinking this, Natsuki firmly refused what Klaus was offering her.
嫌です嫌です。
こういうのは異文化体験だぞ。ここでしかできない体験をしなければ旅行の意味がない。
Klaus kept chewing, ignoring the fact that even his lips were being colored bright
こい
red.
つは親父殿も好きでね。昔は取り寄せたのか、屋敷のテラスでももぐもぐやっていたものだ。夏日が来てからはやめたようだがね。ほら、君が私よりも尊敬する親父殿も愛用していたんだぞ。ほらほら、遠慮なく試したまえ。
いやいや、やめてやめて、あなた。
When he was traveling the world, Klaus had the innocence of a child. Okay. Sure. He wouldn't even conceal his jealousy of the respect Natsuki normally gave Kinzo. Just being able to see that side of her husband made traveling all the way to another country worthwhile. Klaus kept on urging her to bite it, but Natsuki, undaunted, ran from place to place and finally yelled at him that he was being too pushy. Klaus was miffed for most of the bus ride. What a child to let something like this get him down, Natsuki thought, astounded. Then, a native tour guide on the bus took out one of those areca nuts and started explaining about it. He talked about how it had been a beloved luxury item in these parts since ancient times, similar to tobacco. About how its popularity was declining because young people were starting to take a dislike to it, just like Natsuki. And about how it was treated as a good luck charm in this area, and was known as a symbol for couples. She looked at her husband's face. He turned away abruptly, but it looked like his cheeks had gotten a little red.
んで、夫の肩に身を委ねて手なんか握っちゃったりしたわけか。なんだ、そなたら夫婦結構純愛ではないか。燃え上がっちゃったであろう、その晩とか。
Red-faced and avoiding Beto's eye, Natsuki tried to hide her embarrassment by stuffing the patty's hole into her mouth, chewing with her cheeks puffed out like a blowfish. Beto said that there was nothing better than this to go with tea, and nodded several times, a broad smile on her face.
もっとも、それも新婚の頃の話です。
Yeah, I think he does. He just... he lets other things take the forefront of his mind. And because of those other things, he ends up reacting or acting a certain way towards them. That is not, like, at least at first glance, it might not seem in line with feelings of love. But yeah, I agree that very likely deep down he does love and care very much about them.
今は六軒島を出ることもできぬ身、カゴの鳥ですよ。
それを言うならわらわも同じよ。死ねども死ねども六軒島よりは逃げられぬ。
It's kind of like with Eva, where her obsession about the inheritance sometimes overshadows her love for her husband and child. I guess. Yeah.
カゴの鳥はわらわも同じだ。
あなたのことは知りませんし、詮索もしません。しかし、軽んじでの境遇であったことは察します。
老名主を気取るつもりもないわ。同じカゴの鳥同士、せいぜい仲良くしようぞ。わらわはそなたを気に入ったぞ。
そうですか。
I see. I mean, I guess that's the whole point of it, right?
ありがとう。
この度の親族会議における使用人たちへの指示や采配は見事であった。金蔵が何時にどこにいて、何をして何を残したか。それらを見事に共有させ、矛盾なく組み上げた。
Oh, sorry. I think a lot of people expect Kraus to be the most intelligent or ruthless of the siblings at the start of episode 1. He does try to emanate that kind of energy, yes. So when you don't know anything about the siblings, particularly because he's the oldest and has this whole thing about him becoming the head or whatever, you would imagine that. Yeah. His attitude, and yes, we get to see him at his serious mode, I suppose.
それらの緻密な計画書は高度な魔法陣のそれと同じ美しさがあったぞ。
To make it look like Kinzo actually existed and was living life his own way, she had written his schedule for the day down to the finest detail and made the servants follow it to the letter. Who did he meet, when, and where did he meet them, and what did he leave with them? What was he doing, when and where was he doing it, and what did he change? As a result, even though the relatives hadn't seen Kinzo even once, they never suspected in the slightest that he hadn't been there. Eva and the rest truly believed that their conversation about the inheritance had been overheard by Kinzo as he happened to walk through the hall, and that it had sent him into a rage. Everything had gone just as his plan had predicted, down to the finest detail. And the coordination between the two of them and the servants had also been spectacularly intricate.
万一にも知られるわけにはいかぬ秘密ですので、念入りに策を練りましたから。
その緻密さと意志が絶対の成功を呼ぶ。どうやらそなたは魔女としてはラムダデルタ教の一派らしいな。それを魔法と自覚したならば、いつでも魔女見習いを名乗れるレベルだ。
それを魔法と呼ぶなら、熊沢あたりはさしずめ仮病の魔女ですね。忙しい日に限って腰痛で休むと連絡があります。毎年親族会議の日にはいつもです。
ああ、熊沢は違う違う。もっともっと高位の魔女であるぞ。正体知ったら驚くぞ。
Watching these two have their pleasant chat was another pair with steam rising from their black tea. However, this second pair was in a world that the first couldn't see, where golden roses bloomed.
ロノウェが気を利かせて、同じディンブラとかいう紅茶を入れてくれたぜ。
It felt as though Beato muttered something. For the first time, it felt as though she had been able to communicate something. Surely she had taken an interest in the black tea and felt like drinking it. Thinking this, Battler took Beato's cup in her hand and made her grip the cup. Beato's eyes trembled sadly and her fingers shook, almost as though she couldn't even move her fingers as she wanted to, and was mourning the fact that she could no longer even enjoy the tea she had once loved without assistance. That was how she looked. So Battler rested his hand on Beato's, softly took hold of the teacup and lifted it to her lips. Then, though it was only a single mouthful, Beato said, the days in which they had been in a killing fest with red swords and blue wedges already seemed like the distant past. Now, not only was Beato unable to do that, it was even difficult for her to make her body do as she pleased. Even just drinking a mouthful of black tea like this was hard.
どうだ、バラの匂いが素敵な紅茶だよな。口に合うか。
Of course, Beato didn't respond.
どうしちまったんだ。これもまた作戦なんだろ。落ち込んでるふりをして後でバーッと驚かそうって作戦なんだろ。それが狙いならもう二度と同じ手には乗らねえからいい加減にしろ。お前がそんなざまじゃこっちも調子が狂うんだよ。なあ、そろそろ引っかかったなバーカってバカ笑いしてくれよ。どんなネタもあまり引っ張りすぎると笑えなくなるぞ。二番煎じなら特にな。笑ってくれ。あそこで夏日おばさんとお茶を飲みながらケラケラと笑ってるみたいに。
You need Beato bullying Battler in your life? Why? It wasn't fun.
せめてニヤーっと笑うくらいはできねえのかよ。
二度とないわ。その子が笑うことはもう二度と。
Bit shaming someone who was the mood. Those sudden words were exceedingly cruel.
どうして二度となんて言える。ベアトの笑う権利を勝手に奪うな。
あら、赤で言った方がいい？
I shook my head furiously. Then, with an expression that didn't reveal her thoughts in the slightest, Brancasso spoke while looking at Beato's face. And I didn't understand the word she used in the slightest.
おめでとう。
何がだ。
ベアトがそのざまなのはあなたが勝ったからこその結果だからよ。
何を言ってやがる。
あなたはかつてのゲームで言ったわ。これは互いを苛む永遠の拷問だとね。そうよ、ベアトにとっても拷問だった。そしてその拷問ゲームにあなたは勝ったのよ。だからベアトの魂は殺され人形同然の屍になり果て
た。俺がベアトを殺したと。
勝敗はどちらか一方の勝とうとする意志がくじけた時に決まる。あなたとベアとの戦いという意味においてはすでに前回決着がついていたのよ。まああなたにとっては預かり知れぬうちにだろうけれども。
なら 俺の勝利なのにどうしてゲームが終わらない？どうしてこのゲームがまだ続いている？
その子の足首についてる足かせ、ラムダが施したルールなのよ。
Even if Beatrice tries to yield or gets discouraged or gives up, she isn't capable of stepping down from the game. That's the rule. Or maybe it's a curse.
かつてあなたが屈しそうになった時、私はあなたをサポートしたわ。あなたには知覚できないだろうけど、あなたにとって有利な展開とヒントが与えられるように、私はあなたに助力した。だから今、あなたはここにこうしていられるのよ。覚えてる？私に助けられたこと。
Brincastle stared at me. It's true I wasn't aware of it, but maybe it was true that she had helped me.
同じように、ラムダはベアトをサポートしてるわ。そして今度はベアトが屈しようとしている。だから今度はラムダが屈しないようにサポートしたわ。それが足かせ。投了を許さないことによってベアトをゲーム上救ったわ。
何をどう救ったってんだ。
本来ゲームは2つの終わり方があった。どちらかが負けを認めて投了するか、どちらかがチェックメイトでゲームに勝つか。ベアトはその前者に抵触しかけた。だからラムダはそれを潰し、敗北をギリギリのところで回避したの。ゲーム上は立派なサポートだわ。
In that case, the only way left for this game to end is for me to win. At the very least, until I do win, this witch called Lambda Delta can probably try to buy time for Bato's condition to turn back around. But that would just prolong Bato's suffering even more. Neither of us wanted that. Both Bato and I fought with all we had trying to win. It was because we were both giving it everything we could muster that the game repeated several times to begin with. And that was also why, that one time, we confronted each other head-on with all of our strength. And Bato admitted defeat. She said she wanted me to end this game and entrusted everything to me. So Brincastle's words were the truth. She said it was my fault that Bato had become a living corpse. That was true, but it was something both of us wanted.
俺たちの勝負はもう決着している。なのにゲームは終わらない。だからベアトは俺に託したんだ。早く勝ってこのゲームを終わらせろってな。
Now that the game has been resolved, for it to continue any further will be torture without end to Bato. Nothing more than a nightmare. I have to give her a perfect checkmate, end this game in the truest sense, and give Bato a peaceful sleep. For that reason, I'll keep fighting. But by continuing the game, Bato's eternal torture will continue. It felt as though I could only let her sleep peacefully by slowly strangling her to death.
もう俺には真実なんてどうでもいい気がしてきた。ベアトの気が済んだならもうゲームなんてどうでもいいだろ。ベアトは投了した。俺は魔女幻想の真実など捨ておいてそれでいいじゃねえか。
If only Lambda Delta hadn't placed the curse of that shackle on her, this battle would be over already. That's why I find it detestable. This game, where I have to torment Bato even more to end it, is detestable.
何？真実に近づいたら、ベアトが苦しそうな表情を見せるようになったんで、急に手心を加えたくなったの？なら好きなだけ手加減するといい。あるいは、ベアトに勝ちを譲ればいい。そして、妹に孤独で悲惨な未来を無限に強い続ければいい。
そういうわけじゃね
え。That's right. I have to return for Enja's sake as well. I know this isn't the time to start feeling compassion for Bato.
ならきっちり殺しなさい。その魔女を。
Even though Bato was right there, Brincastle spoke without holding back.
あなたの目的はこの女を殺すことよ。あなたは前回のゲームでベアトに壊れて口にしたわ。お前を殺すってね。
ああ、そうかもな。だがそれはお前にとやかく言われることじゃねえな。
知ってる？爪を剥ぐときはね、一気に剥いでくれた方がマシなのよ。あなたみたいに優しくおっかなびっくりとぐりぐりもたもたと剥がれる方がよっぽど痛い。あなたのしてることの方がよっぽど拷問だと思うけど慈悲があるなら一気に殺しなさい。それが殺すということよ。
余計なお世話だ。俺がこいつにどう引導を渡すかは俺が決めることだ。お前もあのラムダデルタという魔女も関係ない。俺が殺す。他の誰にも。それは
その意志に変わりがないならいいわ。私はあなたにかけてるのだから。いい？決して忘れないことよ。このゲームに決着をつけない限りあなたが解放されることは決してない。あなたにだってこのゲームを放棄することは許されないのだ。
分かってない。
ラムダの狙いは分かってる。ベアトと同じようにあなたにも戦意喪失させて二人とも生き人形にしてこの世界を永遠に安定させることよ。そんなの嫌でしょ。私も困るわ。
お前の都合など知ったことか。だが俺はゲームを捨てない。ベアトとの戦いの責任を放棄しない。
目的が同じで嬉しいわ。そしてそれは躊躇なくその子を殺せるということよね。
そうだ。
I have no way of knowing whether those words ease her pain or hurt her, but because of this dull tingling in my chest, I believe that she must have been hurt. I have no way of knowing what the silent Beato feels. If I believe she's been hurt, is that any different from her being hurt? And if I hadn't thought I hurt her, would I have been able to get by without hurting anyone?
で、あそこで夏日とお茶を飲んでるベアトだけど大丈夫よね。
ああ、大丈夫だ。
金蔵の時と同じよ。ベアトリーチェなんて存在しない。あれは魔女の力を借りて危機を乗り越える妙案を思いついたと信じる夏日が生み出した偽りの魔女幻想。
Yeah, I gotta say, as much as I love Natsuhi, the sheer thought of her patting herself on the back for the plan and its execution in this grandiose way does make me feel very good.
二人が並んでお茶を飲んでるように見えるのはゲームマスターであり物語の語り手であるラムダデルタがそう解釈しているからなだけよ。
Yeah. I hope it's like a little bit embellished or a little bit more embellished through Lambda Delta's perception.
夏日に対し一片の愛も持たずに凝視できたならそんな幻想が見えたりはしない。
Oh, hey, thank you for the bitties.
だから私の目には夏日が一人ぼっちで黙々と紅茶を飲んでるようにしか見えないわ。
I'm confused. Is she saying that you have to look at it without love to see the truth? Is that what she's saying? Without love, it cannot be seen. Because love is lacking, it cannot be seen.
That confused
me.
あそこにベアトリーチェなど存在しない。
Beato mumbled softly. It was a small voice that made it sound like she was in pain. The thorn of Berncastle's truth had stabbed into her chest.
ああ、そうだろうな。お前の推理は正しいと思うぜ。だが、それをベアトの前で口にするな。
どこで口にしたって同じよ。ここはベアトの世界なんだから。
あと、こいつを擁護するわけじゃねえが、夏日おばさんが本当に未知の人物 X、ベアトリーチェと名乗る人物とこうしてお茶を飲んでる可能性だってあるんだぜ。この光景は1年前のものだろうが、この日の島の人数が赤き真実で示されてるわけじゃない。
そうね。この日の六軒島の人数についてはラムダも赤では語ってないの。
なら夏日おばさんが本当にベアトリーチェと名乗る女とお茶を飲んだと主張することもできるんだぜ。
Super paper.
俺にお前の説を否定できないように、お前だって俺の説を否定できないんだ。だからそこにいるベアトが幻想だと断じることもできないぜ。
ああ、猫箱理論。それベアトには通用したかもしれないけど、私には通じないわよ。
どうして？
だって夏日はそこで一人ぼっちで紅茶を飲んでるんだもの。
There was a violent sound of glass breaking, and the Beato joking about Natsuhi's newlywed years and laughing happily was erased. A lonely wind blew, and the one person who remained on the bench drinking tea with a tired expression was Aunt Natsuhi, all alone. Beato groaned. I could see clearly that she was in anguish. Another witch illusion had been smashed, calling Beato towards death. In short, this was what the battle to let Beato rest in peace is all about. A second ago, Berncastle likened our fight to the torture of tearing fingernails out. If I have to tear them out anyway, then my last bit of compassion towards Beato should be to minimize that pain. In other words, even if I want to minimize the pain, I still have to cause it. I have to accept that look of anguish on her face. And at the same time, this made me realize what a merciless thing the red truth was. Right now, in this rose garden, there is no one except Aunt Natsuhi. In other words, there are no observers except for Aunt Natsuhi. So if that lone observer were to say that she'd had some tea with Beato, no one should be able to refute that. If no one can refute it, doesn't that mean it's the truth? Aunt Natsuhi is enjoying the roses and drinking tea together with Beato. How could anyone have the right to mercilessly trample that pleasant moment?
赤き真実はまるで刃物だ。魔女と戦う上で時に推理を切られ、時に反撃の武器となる。
知ってるわよ。それが何？
みだりに使うな。刃物は使うべき時に使えば道具だが、悪意を持って使えば凶器でしかない。
It was true that Aunt Natsuhi hadn't really been drinking tea with a witch. However, saying that with the red truth probably has nothing to do with our game. Our game is the tale of October 1986. The 2 days of the crime give us more than enough time to injure each other with our red and blue blades glistening.
これは魔女幻想じゃない。夏日おばさんのプライバシーだ。それを暴く権利なんて誰にもあるものか。
この場に魔女が実在して夏日とお茶を飲んだと認めてほしいの？あなた魔女を否定するんじゃなかったの
？1986年10月4日から5日の2日間のゲームについてはな。
I think what Battler's trying to say is that this doesn't really... Like, exposing this or not doesn't really bear much on the outcome of the game, so he just wants to leave it alone. To not poke and prod too much at Aunt Natsuhi. And indirectly at Beato. That's sweet. Love the scene, the difference between exposing a crime and invading someone's privacy and thoughts for no reason. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I love Battler. He's so cool. Battler chat, yeah.
だが、そのゲーム版の外についてまで、俺は魔女の存在を問うつもりはねえぜ。そもそも、悪魔の証明により、魔女の否定は不可能だ。
Battler grows as the game progresses, which I love. Yes. Yes.
そして、このゲームのルールに従い、赤でそれを語るのも、ステイルメイトで禁じ手だ。赤き真実でさえ、魔女の存在を否定はできねえんだぜ。
確かに。まさかあなたに魔女の存在を語られるとはね。
Yeah, night and day difference.
さすがラムだ。バトラーを人間犯人説と魔女がいてもいいという気持ちのうまいこと中間に引っ張り出してきたわ。人間の心を操るのに本当に長けている。私ももっとあなたを応援しないとまずいわね。
お前らなど知ったことじゃない。消えろ。これは俺とベアとのゲームだ。お前たちに私はしない。
嫌よ。
何？
だって私もこのゲーム楽しんでるんだもの。
Oh no, those eyes, Jesus Christ. Burncastle disappeared, leaving only that unpleasant laugh behind. After that, all that remained was Natsuhi sipping tea all alone. Beato, her hand still on the teacup as she stared blankly at the surface of the liquid, and...
ベルンカステルにラムダデルタか。ワルギリアはお前の友人と言ってたが、お前、友人は選ぶべきだったな。いや、むしろ性悪なお前にはお似合いなのか？
Beato didn't answer. Battler took Beato's hand, made her hold the cup again, and brought it to her lips. Beato made a quiet sound in her throat and drank just one more mouthful. Yeah. Then Natsuhi's lonely tea time ended. Her truth, which was only hers and observed by no one else, had been defiled. In Natsuhi's world, the tea party, which had been peaceful despite her annoyance at Beato for making fun of her too much, must have come to an end, and the two of them probably went their separate ways. However, in Natsuhi's exposed truth, she was all alone. Natsuhi traipsed away. On the bench, only a single person's cup remained. After dashing to her bedroom, Jessica answered the phone call that had been transferred there.
もしもし？お待たせ。バトラー、6年も音沙汰なしとはどういうつもりだ？久しぶりだな。お、そうなのか？知るかよそんなの。うぜえぜ。じゃあ今年の親族会議はちゃんと来るわけだろ？6年ぶりだな。
Jessica is such a ray of sunshine in her own way. I don't know, I can't stop smiling just listening to her talk. Just so sweet. 5 businessmen in expensive suits were visiting in the parlor, giving Klaus and Natsuhi a progress report on their business. Spread out on the table were the blueprints and designs for a building, as well as documents related to expenditures and the like. so packed that even a teacup would have gotten in the way. Officially, they were here to give Kraus a progress report, but in actuality, Kraus had called them all the way over to Rokkenjima so that Natsuhi could hear from them directly. This was because Natsuhi needed to hear someone other than her husband explain what condition their business was in. A very prudent way to go about it, yeah. In short, even though another family conference without Kinzo was approaching, their business had not yet earned them any money. Surprise, surprise. After telling the guests to wait for a short while and make themselves at home, Kraus took Natsuhi out into the hall and once again summarized the situation.
つまり我々の想像をはるかに超えて事業は素晴らしくうまくいっていると彼らは言っているのだ。
Are they though?
ここで私と知事との私的なコネクションが大きく効いてきた。もはや絶対に釣り落とすことはない。それどころか例の委任状だけでなくこれまでの損失さえも一気に取り戻すことが可能なくらいの大きな話になりつつあるのだ。
Ay, ay, ay. Kraus spoke passionately. This made things seem all the more suspicious to Natsuhi. But this time, at least, she had to admit that everything really did seem to be going well. Certainly, this business Kraus boasted of had expanded in scope over the last year, and was promising an even greater payoff than had been anticipated in the beginning. Investors were gathering, jumping on the bandwagon of their own accord, and the business was rapidly gathering funds. It was a perfect example of the saying money makes money. This was probably the greatest success of Kraus's life so far. No, it probably would become his greatest success yet. That point was where Natsuhi's misgivings lay. True, it was certain, and as Kraus had said, they wouldn't lose this catch now. However, the fish on the line had gotten too big.
必ず釣り上げられる魚だ。何も焦る必要はないのだよ。親父が生きていたなら、ぜひ見せて誇りたいほどの大成功なのだ。
ええ、それは分かっています。ですがあなたは昨年、私に約束したはずです。必ず1年で何とかできると。
A pained look rose to Kraus's face. They certainly had hooked a fat fish that guaranteed a great success. However, it would require an appropriate amount of time to reel it in. Of course, that's always the thing. Natsuhi pressed Kraus, asking if there was any way for them to make money before this year's family conference. But Kraus kept saying that he needed just one more year. I have no words. Kraus planned to use this unprecedented success as the springboard to future endeavors. Because of this, he didn't want to do anything that would raise suspicions by making it seem like they were rushing to get money. Certainly, fortune tends to turn against people who take it for granted, even in the slightest. There's a saying about hasty anglers. On many occasions before now, Kraus had gotten cold feet and sold businesses that would surely have brought in a profit had he just waited, and had in effect given away his winning picks. Natsuhi also knew this. She knew that guts were the thing her husband lacked most. That was why she was unable to refuse when Kraus said he wanted to prudently wait just one more year.
「順調でよかったではないか。ということはどうやら私はもうしばらくここで幽霊を続けねばならぬよ。
まんざらでもなかろうが、そなたの命などこの世を去ればすぐに悪魔どもに食い尽くされる運命よ。
申し訳ありません、お父様。また今年もお父様にはお休みいただけないかもしれません。
I guess once you go down a rabbit hole, it's always easier to just keep going down instead of saying enough is enough and going back in the opposite direction. But Like I said, I have no words. My brain is malfunctioning and shutting down in the face of this. Ah.
よい、気にするな、夏日。後ろ宮家当主はすでに私ではない。書斎の幽霊はおとなしく、現在の当主の命令に従うべきだ。クラウスの資料は読ませてもらったが、なかなかに悪くない。
お父様からご覧になってもですか？
わらわから見てもなかなかのものよ。誰もが勝利を確信し、相当の魔力が集中している。その結果、さらに勝利が熱くなり、ますますに人と魔力を集め黄金を生み出そうとしている。
Show me a diamond hands Kraus. Which is no finances, apparently.
錬金術の王道を見事に体現しているぞ。
おお、黄金の魔女の太鼓判までつくなら、これは心強い。喜べ、夏日。このクラウスの事業は必ずや後ろ宮家の危機を救うだろう。
ありがとうございます。そしてそのためにまた。
もう一度親族会議を乗り越えねばならんな。
This is Natsuhi coping to herself. Yeah, I know. It makes me very sad because it's that thing about, you know, like, what was that saying? That if you take a frog and you dump it into a pot of boiling water, it will jump right out. But if you put it into a pot of cold water and then you put it on the stove and you keep, you know, increasing the temperature little by little, then it adapts and then eventually it allows itself to be boiled to death, I guess. I don't remember the exact parameters and words in which that is explained, but that's pretty much what is happening. It's all just this one thing, and then after that this one thing, and this one thing, and this one thing, and this one thing, and it keeps going and going and going. And because they managed to go through one family conference with this whole thing going on, now it's easier to be like, oh, okay, just one more then. We did it once, we can do it again, and then it will be good. And then if it's not good, then you will concoct something else to keep postponing and extending, and it makes me very sad. For her, mostly. Kraus's final project actually did work out. Sure, okay. Based on that meeting, of which we didn't see much, and Kraus's own interpretations of the data, it is technically going well. But it's not doing the thing that they needed to do. So the pickle and the issue still exists. And even if it did, there's really no coming back from this. Like, even if they would go to bed and the next day they would get a phone call and be like, oh, actually, things happened overnight, we're all set. It's still incredibly bad what they've done to get to this point. So, Japan property bubble that doubled the price every year starts from 1986 and 1999. So they will get to keep Kinzo alive to 1991. Sorry, 1991. So they will need to keep Kinzo alive to 1991 for max return. Oh god. Oh god, please. It's not just during the conference. Remember, for example, Rosa visits somewhat regularly. Ah, okay, yeah, I forgot that detail. Anyway, just generally they have to live this, like, pretend thing. And I'm imagining that Jessica doesn't know. So it's just a constant theater play every day. To the point where they're getting indulgent. And the right thing to do is slipping further and further away, to the point where it looks completely unreasonable and unattainable, and it looks like this is the only way to keep going. They came from, like, it all came from this judgment of this is the only way, and the more you go in this direction, the more convinced you are that this is the only way. Yeah. That's he loves theater. Oh man. Ah.
ええ、昨年はうまくやり過ごせたつもりですが、不審に思う親族も現れるでしょう。今年は正念場になると思います。
去年の親族会議の時、ひょっとしたらもう一度同じことになるかもしれぬと予見したそなたは、ただ
最悪のケースを想定するのは魔女ならずとも世渡りの基本だ。それで今年はどうする？
去年同様、会議当日はお父様の秘密を知る使用人を集中的に配置します。お父様の不在を気取る親族もすでにいるかもしれません。不用意な演出はむしろ馬脚を表す危険性もあります。
過ぎたるは及ばざるがごとしとも言う。なればどうする？
今年は昨年とは逆に最後まで書斎をお出にならないという筋書きでいこうと思います。
それがよかろうな。籠城は単純にして最後の切り札だ。
どれほど屋敷が毒素に満ちようとも、この部屋を密室結界に閉ざす限り金蔵の存在を否定することはできぬ。それはわらわも保証する。だが籠城すれば囲まれるは必至。
承知しています。それでも何卒もう一度だけお父様とベアトリーチェの力をお貸しください。
私は新しき当主の命令には逆らえぬ。そして幽霊もまた聖者の命令には逆らえぬしな。この部屋から出るなというのであればそれに従おう。
ありがとうございます。
わらわは嫌だぞ。力を貸せと願われても願いごときでは聞いてやれぬ。
ええ、あなたは古文錬金術師ですから、貸せと願いません。貸しなさいと命じます。あなたの魔法だけが頼りです。その力でもう一度だけお父様の幻想を。
ならばよし、心得たぞ。そなたの貫禄、なかなかに心地よし。
From the shadows of the study, Battler watched the exchange between these three.
なるほどな。そして今年の親族会議を迎えるわけだ。じい様は不機嫌だからと書斎に閉じこもり、誰の前にも姿を現さない。
Natsuhi spoke boldly, saying that she would find a way to overcome this year's crisis and protect the Ushiromiya family honor to the end. Kinzo praised her, saying that he was relieved to hear it and trusted her to succeed. Beto also praised her, saying that Natsuhi's dignity was even more fitting for the family head than Krause's. However, right now, the true number of people in this room was... At the same time I thought that, no, just because I thought that, Beato grabbed her chest and moaned.
安心しろ。ここはゲーム版のまだ外だ。だから俺はそこにいるお前やじい様を否定はしない。
As Beato tried to hold back the pain deep inside her chest, I put my hand on hers. I already toured the Burn Castle. Denying the witch illusions in just the 2-day period of the 1986 family conference is enough.
お前は前回、全ゲームの開始時に、じい様が死んでることを赤で宣言した。しかし、ゲーム開始以前のじい様の生死については言及していない。つまり、今この場にじい様が存在していても、何の矛盾もないってわけだ。
My hand that was touching her let off a faint blue light, which seeped into her chest. That light tenderly wrapped itself around the splinters in Beto's chest.
そして、この場にいるベアトリーチェの存在だって否定することはできない。ゲーム版の外、すなわち1986年10月4日以前の島の人数については、だからここにベアトリーチェが存在しても何もおかしいことはない。
Beto's expression softened slightly. My blue light slowly started to melt the red splinters that denied the witch illusion. Beto still wore the same sad expression, but she lifted her face and looked me right in the eye. Even though she was silent, her eyes told me that the pain had gone away. The feelings that showed in her eyes were gratitude for taking the pain away, and appreciation, or was it surprise, that I had left even a tiny bit of leeway for witches to exist. Unable to look directly at those pure eyes of hers, I automatically averted my gaze.
誤解すんなよ。魔女の存在を認めたり、あるいは屈したつもりもねえ。俺はお前とのゲームに勝つために、その部分だけに徹してストイックに戦いたいってわけだぜ。ゲーム版の外でまで嫌がらせをするほど趣味は悪くねえからな。
Don't get me wrong, baka! Beto hung her head. I was still facing away from her. However, we waited wordlessly for a while, my hand still on hers. By now, no one would believe that this woman with sad eyes was the same person as that prideful Beto. So I asked once more. Even though I said it aloud, it wasn't a question to her. I was asking myself.
お前は一体何を考えていたんだ。そうさ。俺はラムダデルタのゲームを通じてでもお前を探さなくちゃならない。お前が何を考え、何をしようとしていたのかもな。
Very soon this game will also reach October 4th, 1986. The 5th game will finally begin. And this time I'll reach the end. The end of that journey.
殺人がとか、トリックがとか、そういう上辺だけじゃない。お前が。黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが、何を考え何のためにそうしたのか、何を望んでいたのか、それを、たどる。
That's right. I already know the method for reaching the end of that journey, and I've been shouting it since the very beginning.
今こそチェス盤をひっくり返そう。この物語を俺側からじゃなく、お前側からの目線で。そして今度こそ、お前を理解しよう。そしてお前の心臓にたどり着く。痛みなんか感じさせない。安心しろ。あの魔女どものおもちゃになど、もうこれ以上させないからな。
Beto looked up at me again and gave a small nod. That's right. The position of the Game Master might have been snatched up by Lambda Delta. However, as long as I continue this contest with the intent of fighting against Beto, our fight will continue no matter who controls the game board. Very soon, the curtain will rise on our game. He's like a Prince Charming. He's definitely acting the part. Oh, I hate those stages. Oh, no worries. sister's needs come way above stream. Don't worry about it. Thank you for coming in even at the end here. Batoram. Yes. Well, with the scene ending there, I think it's a good
今年の
point.
親族会議でも親方様の秘密を隠さねばならん。
Yes, Genji. I think it's a good point to leave it for tonight. I know it's a bit earlier than the usual length of the stream, but I think we've had a string of longer streams, and tonight I find myself incredibly tired and sleepy, so I'd rather just go to bed earlier if that's alright. It's also like it feels like a good stopping point emotion-wise. So then we can tackle this with fresh resources next time. Yeah. Battler is our Prince Charming. Oh, he definitely is. Bless his heart. Wait, how do I it's here? Yeah. I always get confused. Yes, sleepy time. Sleepy time. Thank you. There we go. It's 6 of night here. I'm from Brazil. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's 11:30 in the night for me, so it's probably very weird whenever I say good night. I go to bed. Yeah. Episode 5 is the episode that made Battler my favorite protagonist. Oh, that's cool. He is like exuding coolness through every pore so far. Yes, that's the Battler I like to see. So I'm excited to keep going with this and see how things turn out. Ban is to farm her gachas. Yeah. Good luck. May RNGesus be with you. Oh, sweet. Battler finally going after the core of the story. Yeah. Yeah, let's see what kind of answers can come out of that. I'm just trying to not expect anything. Just to roll with it. With whatever direction the story is going in, I'll just do my best. Yeah, follow it. And just vibe. Yeah. Interesting introduction of how to respect the privacy of others during this episode. Yeah, I guess it's a point that wasn't made before when we were getting to see all of the stuff happening, but it was a cool thing to note, because it really doesn't invalidate, but it doesn't help Battler's side of the argument. So why do it? You know? Yeah. I really feel for Natsuki. Makes me very, very sad that she's finding herself in this situation. Yeah. As her arc's vibes are remarkable. Okay, well, if it keeps going in this way, I guess I'm gonna have overall an enjoyable time. I'm sure, since it's Umineko, I'm sure there will be painful moments too, but what matters is the overall feeling at the end when you draw the line and sum it all up. So I hope it if it keeps having moments like these, I'm pretty sure the positive side will come out on top. First time since episode 1 that we have Natsuki in the spotlight like this. That is true. That is true. I had been missing her, to be honest. Yeah. Although I'm sad for her, but yeah. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to have you by my side so we get to chat and springboard off each other, our ideas and feelings and everything. But yeah, my brain is melting. I'm really tired. I'm gonna go rest. And I will see you again Thursday, as per usual. Yeah, I appreciate and love you all. Thank you so much again. Take care. Have a lovely end to your day, whatever time zone you're in. And see you next time. Bye bye.